do fun stuff together with artist Drew Rockington and Catstronaut Waffles.
Hey everybody, it's me, Drew, and it's Where's Waffles? Waffles? Waffles, where are you? Oh, sorry I'm late. I was just swimming around trying out that scuba gear. Well, you didn't have any air tanks or anything on, and you're completely dry. Drew, I was using the garden of my mind, my imagination. Oh, you were pretending that you were scuba diving. That is correct. I was pretending I was underneath the ocean, swimming amongst the coral reefs, seeing all the fishes and plants and all the majesty that the ocean had to offer. Everything that the ocean had to offer. Wow, Waffles, that sounds amazing. What did you tell me about it? What did you see? Well, I saw coral that looked like brain. I saw coral that looked like antlers. Well, let me just show you. I took a picture of it. Ready? Oh, my buttons are on this side. Hold on. I can't reach my buttons. Oh, wait, up here. Click. Oh, wow. Waffles, you took this picture? Well, yeah, I did. Okay, well, cool. Look at all the cool things in this coral reefs. First of all, there's like 3-4 different types of fish, and there's different types of coral too. There's round coral, there's coral with little, it looks like there's little legs on it. There's coral that looks like a little brain. Wow, that is really neat, and the colors are really amazing. Big blues and purples and yellows and reds. That is really cool. Wow, okay, I totally see why you were late. Like, who would want to leave that magical space? That looks so neat. Hey, I have an idea for today. Okay. What if we drew our own reef? That would be really rad. I think it would be really cool. I think it would be neat too, but I'm just gonna watch you draw because, it's hard to draw with these mittens. It is hard to draw in mittens. So, Waffles, you find a good spot. Maybe go back to your undersea adventure. Oh, that sounds fun. And I'll jump into the drawing mode. Are you ready? Ready? Oh, diving. I'm diving. Whoosh. Here's that coral reef one more time. Let's get inspired before we sit down to our drawing zone. Okay, here we go. Here's our paper. Let's go ahead and stretch our hands out. Okay, cool. Let's start drawing our coral reef. But first thing I'm gonna do before we start drawing, I am gonna sharpen my pencil. I got my little pencil sharpening station. Let's go ahead and, oh, it's so small. You know what? This pencil might be too small to sharpen, so let's retire it. Thank you, pencil. You have served us well. We will put you aside, and we'll take out another pencil, and we'll reload our pencil holder. Okay, cool. Back in action, new pencil. Way to go. All right, let's start drawing a reef. All right, first thing we're gonna do, let's look at this reef. It looks like there's some cool clumps. And there's lots of layers to it. So we wanna make sure that we show, clumps. We're gonna build this by making clumps. So let's go ahead, start figuring out where our reef is gonna go by drawing little circles of where we think these corals are gonna go. So it's really, imagine that you're drawing like a stack of eggs or, balls or rocks. We're just kind of building this little stack. And you can do tiny ones on top of each other, like that. Do them just kind of piled up. Okay, cool. So we kind of have this rough idea of our coral reef. So now we're gonna draw the different types of corals. We're gonna start putting in the different types of corals. Let's go back to our coral picture and look at it again. Okay, so remember there's coral that are round bumps. There's coral that come out like fingers coming out, and then there's corals that look like little brains. You can see it kind of down at the bottom by this orange fish and this purple, whatever this purple thing is. That's like that is pretty amazing. Okay, so there's lots of different corals. So we're gonna choose some different types of corals that we're gonna draw. Let's go ahead and put in, like maybe this one on the end is fingers. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw finger coral like that. Very cool. And then maybe there's one down here that's like the brain coral. So I'm gonna draw like little lines all around it, like it's a big brain. Brain. The zombie fish. Love this coral. Coral reefs are so cool. They're home to so many types of creatures. They're really like amazing ecosystems. That's where, you know, a place where animals live. They have a ton of life inside of them. And did you know that coral is an animal? Coral itself. It looks like, you know, like you could say, oh, coral is the tree of the sea. But it's not. Coral is actually a living, breathing animal. Well, it breathes water, but it actually is alive. And the big difference between being a plant and being alive is, well, I mean, plants are living too, but being like a creature is that plants can make their own food. And this creature, the coral, doesn't make its own food. It gets its food from eating the stuff in the water all around it, made by the other creatures. Okay, I'm doing these like big balls. I'm just adding these textures to all of these corals. And then what we'll do is we'll go through, maybe there's like some cool finger action happening over here. There's coral that actually looks like antlers. It's called deer antler coral. So we can draw some of that coming out. We'll draw some stuff that looks like fluff, you know, but it's not. Lots of cool things. Okay, this is a big coral, so we're gonna do these big chunks. This could be a really fun one. If we go back to that picture, which we will in a second. I'm gonna keep drawing. We'll just go back to this picture here. This could be a really fun one to color if you have colored pencils or crayons after we're done drawing it, because look at all those bright colors happening in this coral. It's really something cool. Just look at all that. As we draw, I'm gonna leave this up just for a second so you can see all of the colors, all of the different type of animals. And then we'll go back, see how we're doing. See, I've finished these big lumps of coral here. Now I'm adding some more finger coral around here. Just kind of quickly adding all of these details so that we can start on the fun stuff. I mean, the coral is fun, but what we really want to do is make our little coral reef come alive with all these little animals. So here we go. This one is just these little balls. It's really just like, what texture can we add to these shapes to make them seem individual? Because each coral is an individual piece. Oh my gosh, we're drawing so much. I already need to sharpen this new pencil. Well, here we go. Let's see how this one sharpens. Ah, really good. Look at that. Boop. Look how much pencil we have. I wonder if we're gonna use it up before the season finale. Who knows? There we go. Some more coral. And then this one can be another big finger piece. Zoop. This is gonna be really neat. we could start thinking, as we're drawing these coral pieces, we can start thinking about what type of fish we want to populate our reef. And there's a ton of fish and sea creatures that live in here. There's, you know, clownfish, that's like the Nemo fish, or sturgeon fish, that's like Dory. There's, you know, those, what did we see here? We saw, there's these striped things. I'm not sure what that is. I think this one in the middle is a sturgeon fish, but there's striped things. There's eels. There's, what else is there? There's eels. There's manta rays. There's shrimp. There's sea urchins. Ooh, a sea urchin would be really fun to add. Sea urchins are really fun to draw because they're like spiky balls. So we can go ahead and add, maybe I'll add an urchin here. You kind of put like a dot in the middle, and then you add some spikes around it. This is like our sea urchin. We can add another one here, like here's a dot. And then we can add some spikes. And we can overlap a little. Cool, some cool urchins. We can start doing maybe like a clownfish. That's a fun fish. It's like what I said, Nemo. So go ahead and make your lump. And they have a fin on the top and a fin on the bottom. And then their little back fin. And they have their fins on the side. And then they're known for their stripes. They're white and orange fish with stripes. So you can have a couple of those. They might swim in a little school of a couple of them. So we'll add some more clownfish. Here's their little fin. This is going to be their stripes. This is cool. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw. Let's see, what else do we got? We can draw, let's go look at, there's like the sturgeon fish. Let's go back to that drawing. Let's just get an idea. Oh, I have an idea of how to draw it now. Okay, cool. This could be a fun thing to look up different types of pictures of fish. So let's draw that sturgeon fish. It's kind of like a shape like an eyeball, almost like you're drawing an eyeball. And it has a little fin across the top, the eye here. Here's its fin on the side, and then it has this really tall tail like that. Do a little fin on the bottom, and it's gonna have like a little stripe along the side. It's all blue, which is pretty cool. We can add, maybe there's an eel coming out, so maybe there's like an eel swimming up. Those are like the long sea snakes. We'll draw a happy eel. And then it has these fins on the side. Add little lines in them. Like that. What else should we add? We should add something down here. Like maybe let's erase part of our coral. We'll draw a big fish here. You can even make fish up if you want to. Let's draw a big old one. Here's its fishtail. And maybe this one has like a really tall fin on the top and the bottom. And I'm gonna do this thing here, look, where the fin is, maybe I'm not in focus. There we go. The fin is like cut off by this coral. It's behind the coral, but it's in front of this other coral on top. It's kind of cool. And then maybe this has like, its face will be black. Or just a white eye, and we can add black stripes. That could be really cool. There we go. This is like our own fish that we've made up. I'll draw a little fishy fin for it, swimming around there. Then what do we have? We have an eel. We need something over here. Let's go ahead and add. We'll add like a little. What should we add? Like a crab? Yeah, maybe there's like a. Oh, let's add a. Yeah, let's add a crab. So maybe there's a crab here. Its eyeballs. You can kind of see its leg. Here's its claw. Awesome. So this would be like what our diver found. You know, people, a lot of people like to go diving at the coral reefs just because you always see such interesting creatures. It's really neat. This is looking cool. Okay, let's add 2 more big animals. First thing I'm going to add is like a sea turtle. So we're going to start drawing its head, and then I'm going to draw its massive body. Here's its big shell. And then sea turtles have these big, long flippers that they use to swim really long distances. So I'm going to draw those. This is like the underside of the sea turtle. So this is, I'll draw a circle in here. This is like the undercarriage, and then we'll draw its little eyeball. It's smiling too. Hi, turtle. Here's its big shell. All right, they live for over 100 years. They can. They're really cool turtles. They get really big. Some of the oldest turtles could have a shell like up to a couple feet big. That's like this big. Huge, huge creatures. And then the other thing I wanted to draw. Oops, I'm just gonna finish my turtle. Little tail. Let's go ahead and draw like a manta ray, a stingray. So that is kind of like you draw a diamond, and then at the face here, they have these little feelers that come out in front, and they have this like mouth on the bottom. It kind of always looks like they're smiling. I think these are their eyes up here, and then they have this like tail that comes down and float up. So, and they have these big, basically they're like big wings, and they flap their wings, you know, fly across the ocean like that. Really neat. And then we can go ahead, if you want to, we can add a seahorse. Oops. All the creatures of the ocean. A tiny little seahorse there. This is really cool. Okay, let's start inking. We spent a long time on this. It looks really neat. I think we're gonna ink it pretty quick here. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go really quickly just over our, start by doing our fish. Our fish were like the last thing we drew, but they're gonna be the first thing we ink because we wanna make sure that they're in the foreground. That's the thing that's the closest. So we're gonna make sure that they're in the foreground and we don't cover them up when we draw our coral. So I'm gonna draw all my little fins. Here's a little manta tail. It's its belly. Here's his little noses and the manta mouth. Maybe we'll add some things like that. Go ahead and draw my little seahorse down here. With its little flipper on the back. Here's our sea urchin. This is a good drawing to start going from left to right because there is so many pieces of this drawing. The sea urchin's like nestled on this coral. So now I'm gonna draw this fish that we made up. This is our mystery fish. And remember, I'm putting it behind the coral down here, so I'm not gonna draw all the way. I'm just gonna draw just a bit of it. Maybe we start drawing that coral so we remember that it's behind there. There we go, we'll draw its fluttery flipper. And here's its eyeball, and then we're gonna shade in the face, because remember this one had a dark face and it's gonna have dark lines, stripes. That looks awesome. Cool. Then let's go ahead and we're gonna start doing our coral. And this coral kind of draw almost like you're drawing popcorn balls or clouds. Very cool. You can add little lines inside of it just to kind of give it some more texture. Coral is made up of all these tiny little pieces on this shape, like all the living. It's almost like it's, you know, they're kind of like leaves, but they're not. But it's living on this shape, this beautiful shape. But it has these little bits of it all over it. Do some at the bottom here. This is cool. All right, now this is the brain coral down here. So this one has a different shape to it. These are like the folds of the brain, and that's overlapped by this finger coral. I'm actually going to start the finger coral down here and kind of work my way out. So it's overlap. You can see all the overlap. Here we go. This is so cool. It's a lot of drawing though, isn't it? Wowee! And here's another piece of coral. This one is a little looser, bigger chunks. Here's another finger coral down here. Sometimes when you're drawing lots of little detail like this, you just want to let your mind wander. You know, sometimes it's fun to pretend like you're in the world that you're drawing, swimming around. Are you a fish or are you a diver checking out this reef? Maybe you're a scientist. This one is a very tiny, this coral is made up of very tiny elements. It's important to do to like change your textures because it helps show, one, it helps give variety to your drawing, but it also helps show like, look at this. This really looks alive now. This is really cool. Maybe it has like little dots on it. It doesn't have to be realistic. Like you can go try to copy a coral if you want to, but I think if you showed this to someone, they would get the idea like, oh wow, look at that. You're swimming in an ocean. Maybe this finger one. This finger coral has little lines in all the fingers just to help set it apart from the other corals that you have. Very cool. Look at that. Just that little definition helps really pop it out there. Really cool. Okay, let's go ahead. This is another finger coral. This one we can add some more shape to it. Maybe its fingers are a little more out there. Really neat. Maybe there's a tiny thing on the top of that. Fun. Very fun. Okay, cool. Next, I'm gonna go, where am I gonna go next? Well, let's draw our little clownfish. Our little clownfish. Here we go. Draw its fin on top, fin on bottom. Draw the lines and the eyeball. Bing! Super cool. Let's go ahead and draw another clownfish. Kind of like drawing a little football first. Here's its eyeball. Here's its little flipper fin. My lucky fin. Nemo. Okay, then let's go ahead and draw our happy little eel poking out. And it's got its fins on both sides. Hey, buddy. Eels get a bad rap. They're kind of seen as sneaky, slithery creatures, I guess, because they look like a snake, but I think they're really cool. Here's your sea turtle. Everybody's having a good day in the ocean. Draw its little turtle details on the bottom of its shell. Here's its flipper. Here's the other flipper. Yeah, look at this. We're just slowly adding all these details in. It's fun if you just sit down with your drawing and you're just patient. You add those details. That's when it's gonna start really looking cool. There's its turtle shell on its back. Little tail hanging out. I'm gonna add some texture to its turtle shell. Kind of helps separate it out. Look at that cool sea turtle. All right, we're almost there. Let's go ahead and switch gears to drawing this crab. Here's its legs. And a claw. Awesome. Put some eyeballs in there. You can add some texture if you want to your crab. Go ahead and add, here's another coral. This one is nice and light and fluffy and airy. Kind of letting my crab hide in there a little bit. Maybe I'll go over my crab just slightly, just to help pop them out. Okay, cool, we're almost there, everyone. Just a few more corals. It's really paying off though. Look at this cool finger coral. And then here we're gonna do this antler coral. Just sticking out like that. Some more shape, this rounded coral. Kind of heading here. Ooh, and this one we're gonna do these big balls around it. Another sea anemone or sea urchin. Those are two different creatures. Sea urchins have spikes all over them. Sea anemones do not. They kind of have like fingers that float like this. And then we're gonna do some big pieces of coral down here. These are all individual pieces. Their own little texture to them. There's more of the circles. So cool. This is rad. I love it. I love it. So neat. Last little bits here. You can finish it off by adding like some tiny fish just swimming around just every once in a while. Draw some bubbles. Try not to make them look too symmetrical, so you want to kind of randomize them. Big ones, little ones. Oh golly, we might not have room for a signature on this drawing. There's so much going on. So cool. Look at this. This is awesome. This is really cool. All right, I think I see a good spot for a signature, so I'm gonna go Drew Brockington 20, bing, right there in the corner. Wow, look at our coral reef that we drew. I see one spot here I want to add some detail to. There we go. Ah, man, maybe on my eel, I'll just add 2 little lines like that. Whew, what a cool drawing. This is so cool. I love this. I love this so much. Hey, let's go through our entire ocean voyage that we did. We started with a mermaid. We should zoom out. Ready? Okay, we started with a mermaid. Then we did a diver. Okay. Then we looked at making a submarine. I don't know if we can zoom out even more. We looked at making a submarine. Can I zoom out even more? You're gonna see my messy desk. And then finally, we did an ocean reef. This is so cool. Look at that. Ah, you get the idea. Oh, that's so cool. Look at all of our cool drawings. And look, if you put these together, they kind of look like they go together. You could like make a whole scene. That's a cool idea. Like every day draw a new scene. Oh, maybe we'll do that next week. We're gonna draw 4 different drawings that all fit together, and we'll make a giant panorama drawing that you can tape together. That's a great idea for next week. Wow, but look at all this. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for drawing with me. Hey, guess what? I want to see how your ocean reefs turned out. So get permission and from your caretaker and hop on, take a picture of it and see if you can post it on Twitter or Instagram and tag me at the Brock Art. You can also follow me on Twitter or Instagram, and I will post these drawings and other drawings that I'm working on too. But I want to see how your drawing turned out. So hop on Twitter or Instagram and post and tag me at the Brock Art. I want to see your coral reef. I want to see how cool this is. Look how cool this is. Let's zoom in because this is so cool. This is such a cool drawing. Oh my gosh, everyone, I am so excited for this drawing. I am overjoyed. It's so cool. Okay, once again, hop online, take a picture, post it, tag at the Brock Art. I'd love to see how you're doing. Go ahead and follow at the Brock Art for pictures of this drawing and other drawings that we've done in the past. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's a big one. We have 1 more week of shows before the end of the season, then we're going to be taking a break for the summer. But, you don't want to miss anything. I have lots of fun things planned, the occasional videos over the summer, big announcements, that's like that. So subscribe to the channel and, yeah, let's continue to do fun stuff together, everyone. Let's do fun stuff together. This was really cool. I love drawing with you today. I hope you had a great time, and I will see you back again tomorrow it's Friday. What does that mean? Waffles? Do you know? Yeah, I think I do. Cat Day! We're gonna draw a cat portrait tomorrow, so get your paws ready. Okay, bye everybody. See ya. Bye.